Hey, how's it going? It's Walsh here, sick as always. Today I'm here to talk to you about the end of my Settlers of Kalguur run. I had an amazing time. I love the ships, I love the mechanic. The rest of this video is going to be talking about well, I might not talk about every character, probably just like the top three characters or something like that. But overall, I'm going to talk about my league, how it went, what I accomplished, what I failed to accomplish, and just overall what happened. So if you don't care about any of that, there's pretty much no clips in this video. But thank you so much for sticking around for this season. Also, I'm going to be doing another video later on, probably like 2 or 3 weeks from now, talking about whether or not I think the league mechanics should be added to Ruthless, and if so, how. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next season. So you probably already figured it out by now, but I did level another character. I did try rolling this build. I was using Detonate Dead with the trigger on hit, and we were using Volatile Dead cast on crit. My plan was to use the Lycosidae, but I mean, Savalwin is just so good. I think this character would have been awesome, but I'm just not going to have the opportunity to play very much, and doing one video every like 3 weeks just feels bad, and honestly, I think I'm just kind of done with the league. So anyway, this character would have been awesome. I hope I get to try a build like this in the future. But leveling with it was awful. I tried to use it as soon as I could put on cast on crit. Don't do that. It was terrible. Anyway, though, let's talk about the league. Before anything, I just want to give a huge thank you to this body armor right here. I have found a way to put this on, I think, every single build we have played, except for the Flameblast totem and the Hex Blaster. That's it. I put this on everything else. This body armor saved my league. So, out of respect, wow, it actually didn't die. All right. I mean, it didn't hit anything, but hey, you know what? It didn't die. That's pretty cool. We unfortunately did not hit a single six link other than the lion. I almost said Lycosa than the Lion's Eye Crusader armor, but I mean, it's okay. I can't really complain. It's kind of nice. Like, that's the thing about Ruthless. I know some people get really frustrated. I see this a lot on like the Reddit and stuff like that. People talk about how like they grind, and they never get what they want. They never get what they're looking for. For me, that's a really big part of what makes Ruthless fun. You never know what you're going to have, and if you don't play like really strong meta defining characters, if you just kind of like play whatever you feel like, you never know how far you're going to get in each league. And for me, that's what makes Ruthless so fun, because normally in PoB, like in bench league, you're always going to get there. You're always going to get to the, even if you play trash builds, if you just keep grinding, you're going to get there. On Ruthless, you might not, and that's what I love. Anyway, though, I want to talk a little bit about the currency and my Atlas tree. So to make this character, I did have to spec into Essence again, but it took like no time at all. For a while, I was pretty upset about them getting rid of like the duplicating Essence thing. But to be honest with you, this node is way better because like getting like the 4 Essence to even proc on Ruthless to double it was pretty difficult. But now that we have Scarabs with this node right here, if you use the massive Scarab node, do I even have one? I do not. If you have the one that makes all rares have an essence, the last boss, oh my god, you get like 10 of them. But I will tell you this, here's a little trick. If you're having a hard time doing this, let's say, you're doing what I just said, you have 10 essences going on, what you really want to do, in my opinion, is pick a map that has like 2 or 3 bosses. Ideally 3. Like well, maybe not courthouse, but like city square, race course, stuff like that, because then it splits the essence among the 3 bosses instead of one, and I find that to be easier. Anyway, though, as we're talking about essence, I do want to talk about my skill trees. Even in this league, okay, look at my stash. You will never see this again. I have been alking everything all league, non-stop. You will never, ever, ever like go look at other leagues. Like, don't watch. You don't have to watch the whole season. Just like go to the last episode or whatever. Look how many alchemies I have. I could not waste these fast enough. And even in this league, I wish I stuck with Essence. I am never getting rid of Essence again, even if it's just like a minor investment. I am always keeping it on. I regretted not having it in Necropolis, and that game literally, or sorry, that league literally let us print items, and I still wanted Essence. And in this league where we have infinite alchemies, which I hope we never get again, granted it was really fun, but I don't want this to be the norm. But even in this league, I wish I still had Essence. So I'm never taking it off again. But I keep sidetracking. What I'm basically talking about with my skill tree, I am always in my main tree going to keep Essence. I think what I'll do, I think the way to do it is you just take Prolific, and then you take Crystal Resonance, and that's it. Don't go for the other stuff. Don't like take this because I think that's when Essence starts to feel bad is when you overinvest. Now, unless you really need Essence for specific crafts, I think like you shouldn't invest that much. You should kind of think of it like Alva, where you just want to do a little bit of investment and then like she's golden. I don't personally think it's worth it to come over here and get Treasure Hunt. I'm not saying it's always a bad idea, but generally speaking, I don't like it. I also don't like these nodes either. This node gives you a way less, well, I won't say a way less chance, but a reduced chance of getting double corrupts and alter, lens and altars and whatever. So for me, I'm not into it. Anyway, other than that, I do want to talk about Beyond. I think this is the. Oh, that's that's not Beyond. Actually, you know what? We'll talk about Ritual first. Ritual hard carried this league. I never got an Omen of Connections, and I'm still very glad I ran this. So if you're like, oh, why would I do Ritual? I'm probably never going to get an Omen. Do it anyway. Here is my recommendation. This is how I did Ritual for this league, and I loved it. So you have your main obvious Ritual tree. You're going to take a cult. You're going to take Answered Appeals. Going to come down here and take Flexible Dogma. I don't know, Sacrificial Dew, I think this is worth it. Let me tell you why. The Ritual Scarabs are, like, here's the thing. People, when they keep coming into Ruthless, they're like, oh, Ritual is trash because you can't use a Scarab to spawn it whenever you want. Part of what makes Ritual so much better than every other mechanic is you basically get +1 Scarab. Because every other, well, not all of them, but most of them have to use at least one just to spawn the mechanic, where you don't. I think it's pretty amazing. And to be honest with you, the vessels give you way more. Like, the vessels don't just give you the new ritual, the vessels also give you bonus favor when you're doing it. And they're just so good, man. Ritual is insane. I definitely think this is worth it. But I don't think it's like high tier. Like, I'd put this like pretty low, like priority wise, because this is a ton of points. But at the same time, it does give you Scarab drop chance, which is nice. But you don't have to go for this, but I definitely think it's a good idea. I will always have Alva on my tree no matter what. I always take these three. I don't care. I don't care if my character is like crazy fast. I'm always taking them, period. Harvest is great, but the thing is, when I'm trying to level up, I play a lot of like really weak, janky characters, and Harvest can make leveling up pretty horrible sometimes. But if I do have a strong character, I always keep Harvest on. Outside of that, I kept messing with the Scarab investment. I have to say, I don't think it's necessarily worth if you're just doing 3 points. But if you're like, all right, I'm leveling another character, or I just really need scarabs right now, unless you're putting like at least 20 points into it, I don't think they're worth it. But outside of that, I want to talk about Blight. As always, all you need for Blight to be amazing is immune response. The only reason I came up here and did Blight spawn is because I was leveling so many new characters. I just wanted my Blights I found in lower tier to give me better oil. I have been pretty lucky with oil this league. I did have a plan to use my golden, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, hey, you know what? Look at that. How lovely. So I had to farm beyond this league to get some tainted fusings, and I have to tell you, this is like the first time I have stayed fully spec'd into beyond for a long time. I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. For a while there, I wasn't getting any bosses. I think the trick with Beyond, at least in Ruthless, is to really invest in all of these tiny nodes. I think they really do add up and make a huge difference. Because I was farming originally with just Torn Veil, and I came down here and got Fiendish Opulence. And then I started by taking Scent of Blood, and that felt kind of nice. It didn't make a huge difference. And then I fully invested in all these little tiny points, and Beyond felt so much better. I did only get a couple of tainted fusings, but to be honest with you, getting a tainted fusing in Ruthless at all is kind of rough. I did six link, or sorry, I didn't six link the staff, unfortunately. We did get it back to a 5 link, but no luck. I mean, it would have been pretty sick, but that's not gonna happen. Anyway, though, beyond that, typical stuff. I farmed Abyss for a little while. Funny enough, this is I think the first league I've done Ruthless where I did not find a Lich. Granted, I only did Abyss for like a week, so it's not that crazy, but it's kind of sad. So obviously, currency this league was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, 300 chisels, and I was chiseling all the time. I don't really know how it's possible I still have 300, but this is not Ruthless. It's pretty busted. I definitely never want to have another league where I have this much currency. But at the same time, if we do, I'll still have a good time playing it. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I mean, I said this during Necropolis, because this is always just my take on leagues. And it's just that leagues can be overpowered. I don't mind. I really don't mind if they're overpowered as long as they're not permanent. as long as there's some downsides. Like this league, even though there was a lot of currency, it wasn't like the crop list where you could build anything you wanted. I mean, my gear was still kind of whatever. I mean, I spent a ton of currency. I must have used like, I wish there was an alch tracker. Oh, look at that. I've used 500 chaos orbs. I don't think I've used 500 in the last 3 leagues of Ruthless. Okay? That is insane. That is an insane number of chaos, and I still did not get shit. I will say though, the best stuff I made this league came from the where's my stuff? I don't know. Came from the combiner, to be honest. All my best shit wasn't crafted. It was from the combiner. The map pool is always the same for me. I mean, I know I see new people who have a hard time getting maps. I'm going to tell you right now, all you need to do, get your maps increased up to 30%, and then invest every single other point on getting shaping nodes. There's one right here. Sorry, one right here. I would path up through here, go like this, take all these small nodes here, get the pack size wheel, and then just take all these tiny nodes. You want to get your +1 chance. See how mine's only 25? That's because the watch. This is the big thing with the watchstones. Not only do the watchstones raise the level of your maps, but they give you a 25% chance for maps come +1, which essentially just gives you more points on the tree. Because see how I'm at 25 right now, so I'm actually at 101%. So I'm guaranteed for all my maps to drop 1 tier higher because these 3 give me 75 and we have 26, which saves you a ton of points. And that's why people say, you know, once you get your stones, you can actually spec into what you want. But for your first tree, do nothing else. Increase your map drops, path up through key rack, just right through here. Don't take any of these side things. Just go up through the middle, get all the +1 chance, and you're good to go. Our unique collection was pretty cool. We actually got some nice double corrupts. Actually, where is my shield? Who has the shield? Oh, you do, right? Do you have it? Yeah, so we double corrupted that, which is disgusting. There was a lot of good times in this league. I think my favorite part overall was probably getting through Uber Elder. I mean, it's kind of nice that even after all these years on Ruthless, Uber Elder can still be like a really hard boss. I love that, man. I think it's awesome. Also, this is probably my favorite character of the league. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit more about it in a second, but dude, Ignite Elementalist is always a great time. But doing it with Fire Trap and Blasting has been by far my favorite Ignite experience, period. I truly think if I ever, like, if I'm ever at a point where I want to play Ignite, I'm always going to be playing Fire Trap and Blasting unless I have some crazy jank build. This was amazing. If you like Ignite, try Fire Trap and Blasting, try Elementalist, and be happy. I guess now is a good time to talk about the characters anyway. So we league started, if you remember, back with the, oh my god, dark times. What level are we? We didn't even make it to 80 on our first character. Yeah, we were playing the Pyroclast mines, and let me tell you, they felt fantastic during campaign, but once you hit like Act 10, like the very end of Act 10 and early maps, God, it dropped off like a rock. It was terrible. Now, granted, I didn't have Minefield, and I'm pretty sure if you have Minefield, it probably feels fantastic. I really would like to try to play Pyroclast Mines again with the Minefield to see how it feels. Because, like, I was so desperate. Look at this. I came all the way down here. Look at all these points just to get some more throwing speed because it was horrendous. Throwing one mine at a time is like the worst thing you can ever do to yourself. Don't do it. But I will say, even with that, we still got pretty far. I mean, we got to level 79. It's not it's not a basic, but hey, not terrible. It's okay. The next character I really want to talk about, of course. Where are you? Not that one. There you are. We finally got to play a genuine Glacial Hammer character. My biggest regret this league is I kept forgetting to fight Uber Elder on this character. So I kind of wish I did that. I'm gonna vow this out of respect. Okay. Yeah, I kind of wish I did Uber Elder on this character. I'm not saying he could definitely have done it, but I think he could have. I mean, my damage was disgusting on this character. I love this build. Also, I found a new respect for these jewels. I pretty much never used them at all, but my god, look how many points that saves. 24 intelligence, 100. God dang. When I first put this on, I think I literally gained 4 skill points, and I was like shocked. Not only did I get the skill points, but I could also change my gear around. I'm gonna stop vendoring these forever. I've always just vendored them. I'm an idiot. But yeah, overall, I would give this character a 9 out of 10. I had a fantastic time. It did a ton of damage. It was definitely not the tankiest, but I mean, my gear was kind of whatever. This character was very tanky for what I had, did a lot of damage, and felt fantastic in mapping. We even had spell suppression. Like, just think, one of the biggest problems I had is I could never find any good armor evasion gear. Like, this character with spell suppression capped, oh my god. And fortify, oh my god. It would be amazing. If I ever got really good gear, I'd like to do this build again. I also don't think Overwhelm is worth it. I think you switch down here to Masterful Form, but the reason I did it this way is I was struggling so much with, what's it called? Oh no, I changed it. Never mind. Yeah, I was gonna say I was struggling with intelligence, but I fixed that. So yeah, I think what you would do is possibly either if you got the gear for it, you could drop this wheel if you really wanted to. I think you would just drop your cluster jewels and honestly, or sorry, drop your jewels and get a cluster jewel. I think you could do a lot with one. I mean, granted, it feels kind of bad because these 4 points don't do too much for you. But on the right side, at least they do something. For most people, the small nodes do nothing, so it's not too bad. But yeah, I think a cluster jewel would make this character feel really nice. You could even use like a reservation aura for like determination or whatever. Maybe squeeze in Herald of Purity. I don't know. Great time. Love this character. So the next character I want to talk about is the Flameblast Hierophant. My god. Flameblast of Celerity, if you are a Flameblast enjoyer, play this gem. Holy shit. Oh my god. The only downside is it's probably going to destroy your vision. I really wish they would make an MTX that makes like the bright light go away. Even if the skill overall looks worse, dude, just let me get rid of that bright pop. My god. But other than that, this character was awesome. I loved it. I think going Hierophant, unfortunately, has to be the only method you can go because +1 totem is pretty hard to beat on anything. And of course, Ritual of Awakening is just fantastic. The problem is, like, this node does pretty much nothing. I mean, if you could, like, dream really big and go crazy gear for crit, like, what's that helmet? I can't remember what it's called. Isn't there a helmet from Sanctum or whatever that makes the base crit crazy? I don't know. I don't think it's really achievable in Ruthless, but even without it, Elemental Overload was more than enough. I think what I would do if I were you, if you were going to play this character, I think the right way, there's two ways to go about it. If you have God gear, go Armor Energy Shield, right? Go Armor Energy Shield, come up here, get a large Cluster Jewel for Elemental, and get two mediums for Totem. Get the Arcane Surge, get Onslaught, and then get the what the hell was it called? There's a placement speed. Sorry, placement speed. Double placement speed. That's what it is. You get placement speed on both, and then you get Arcane Surge and then Onslaught, and then you'll have a great time. You'll do fantastic damage. The totems will fire like laser beams. It'll be a great time. The other method is what I did. This is basically like the budget method. Go for mana, very basic, normal mana stuff. Automatic arcane surge and stuff like that with arcane. Sorry, yeah, automatic arcane surge with why do I keep saying arcane surge? Arcane cloak. Sorry, arcane cloak, automation, arcane surge. You could also do more duration if you're a fancy person. Other than that, honestly, it's all pretty standard mana defensive stuff. And the problem with the mana defensive setup is you don't do as much damage because you have to spend like 15, 20 points on mana or whatever. But the nice thing is you don't really have to worry about defense too much. Like, even with my trash gear, I was very tanky. If you get a Mind Spiral, it's God tier. I love this character. I had a fantastic time. But like I said, if you go mana, you're going to do way less damage. That being said, I mean, I was still farming like tier 14, tier 16 maps. I wasn't like insta-killing the map boss or anything like that, and doing like Hydra and stuff was kind of slow. But to be fair, my gem was only level 18. It was only a level 18 gem, and we were doing Hydra and Minotaur and stuff like that, and it felt fine. I mean, I wasn't like surprised by the damage. I wasn't like, oh my god, we're destroying this guy. But it was pretty cool. I liked it. Also, the bad thing about mana is you have to be kind of like point inefficient. I don't really like taking these 2 points. I mean, actually, it's not that bad. 5% penetration. I thought it was just the. Oh, never mind. It's not that bad. I take it back. Yeah, anyway, this character really easy to build, really fun. Obviously, having a Mind's Prowl makes it way better, but you definitely don't need it. The pathing is very generic and basic, so you can change it up as much as you want. Highly recommend. So I have to say, the character that surprised me the most was the Frostblade's champion. This character was shocking. Every time I've ever looked at this gem, I've always thought about it from the perspective of trying to play Cold Dot, and honestly, it always just looked bad or boring to me. It didn't really look like it was doing anything better than normal Cold Dot, and it kind of seemed tedious to play. But I understand now that the whole point of this gem is you can hit them from a mile away. We are not melee anymore. We are melee from over here when they are over there. It is a great time. I love this gem. If you like playing melee, play it. You're going to love your life. My claw was very generic. I had this, like, I made this claw specifically for a build in mind, and honestly, it's not that bad. Like, by Ruthless standards, it's really not bad. But unfortunately, I didn't realize that we don't get Energy Shield Leech as Trickster, and that put a huge damp on that build, and couldn't play it. Anyway, though, getting a Lycosa today was fantastic. I think out of respect, we should corrupt it. Okay, nothing happened. Very cool. All right, well, we got a Lycosa today, which is pretty sick. I don't know the last time I ever got one, but I probably won't get one for a while. And lastly, we talk about the failed Power Ranger. Man, I suck, dude. I'm vowing this. I just could never get what I needed. I had like such a tiny. Here, wait, hold on. Okay. I had such like a tiny, tiny, tiny like range. I was like, if I even get the bare minimum where I can do like decent mapping, I'll play it. I just never got it, man. I got nothing, absolutely nothing for this character. I am definitely gonna try to use Energy Blade in the future. I did not realize you literally just get a lightning blade. And why can you use cosmetics on it? What the hell? Dude, that's awesome. So yeah, we definitely need to make this work in the future. Unfortunately, Ivory Tower was too much for me. I failed. Hopefully in the future we get it again, and hopefully I can get some gear for it. But overall, it's a cool idea. If you have crazy gear, highly recommend it. You play Cremation, you play Spellblade, you do a lot of damage, and you have a very good time. So, Settlers of Kalguur, or Kalguur, whatever, man. I loved it, dude. This is a great time. I was planning on doing a little longer of a league, but it's just not feasible right now. But I don't feel like I missed out on anything. I did end up getting that last challenge when I finished crafting my weapon for my cast on crit, cast on hit guy. I did get the 6-1, and oh yeah, let me put it on. I mean, you've probably already seen it because I'm like really late, but hey, where is it? Oh, it looks sick. I like that it's like small. I hate how they have like the one I was just wearing. I don't even know where it is, man. This thing, I don't like this. It looks dumb. Don't like it. I like it when there's like a presence to it. I don't know, man. Anyway, I'm not talking about capes right now. Anyway, love Settlers. I had a great time. The boats were really fun. If you don't want to hear my TLDR on the league mechanic, skip to the end, I guess. But basically, I love the mechanic. I I don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't think it should go core, but if it does go core, it needs to be absolutely butchered, but it needs to stay passive. It should stay passive and it should be butchered. I think they should not only reduce the amount of ships, but how long it takes. For example, I think there should only be like one ship, maybe two, and you can only do the 2 hour plus ports. I think that would be fine. And of course, drastically reduce the amount of currency and stuff you get. But I think honestly, after experiencing like a passive income on Path of Exile, I don't know, man. I feel like they just opened something in my brain because it felt so nice. A big motivator that kept me excited for this league mechanic was knowing every day that I woke up, I was waking up to something unexpected. I liked it. I thought it was a great time. So pretty much, actually, you know what? I think that my answer is so short on that. Maybe I just won't make a video on it. It's pretty much everything I want to say about it. It was a great mechanic. Obviously, it was busted. It gave way too much currency. Savalan, if it goes core, I don't really think that's a big deal. But I think it needs to be nerfed to some degree. I think the shield should not give you any block at all. It should only take it away, and maybe it takes away a little bit more, but it still gives you lucky. That way you have to work for it more. But I mean, honestly, I don't really have a big deal with it. but hopefully they nerf Gladiator. And I don't really know how they're gonna nerf it because like the problem is I don't know. I think the only way you could really nerf Gladiator is to nerf block itself. But I don't really know if I want that to happen. Look at him. Do you remember? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Sorry if the league ending is a disappointment. Also, we did 1,500 red maps, 672 yellow maps, and 282 white maps. Not too bad. I'll be very interested to see how many Chaos Orbs I spend next league, because I only have one left. Like the thing is, I don't like having currency idle, which is why I kind of felt bad about all these alchemies. But I could not spend them fast enough. I literally couldn't. Where is my craft? Look at my craft box. I was crafting body armors, man. I was so desperate, and I just couldn't waste them. We had too much money. It was a fun league. I had a great time. Oh wait, how many characters did we play? How many did we play? Wait. Oh god. Okay, we played, not counting the really low ones, we played 17 characters with two level 90s. Nope. Oh yeah, two level 90s. Wow, we played a lot more than I thought we did. I kind of felt bad. I kind of felt like I didn't play that many characters, but we absolutely did. Anyway, thank you again so much for watching. I had an amazing time. You guys have been awesome. And once again, thank you so much for 3,000 subscribers. And I'll see you at the new league.